Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome to our next episode of the SWE World Cup and our first look at Group C. This one is a big one. The top two seeds from the group collide as Samoa takes on Mexico. And here is our first match of the evening. It is going to be Umaga taking on Pentagon Jr. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to this. The entire night should be a real good one, actually. The two top teams seeded from Group C. Of course, for Samoa, we have got Umaga here. We've got Rikishi. And we have got Samoa Joe. And then for Mexico, we have got Pentagon, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio Jr. So three pretty interesting members of each team. Varying levels, but I feel like this could be a very, well, this could go either way in my opinion. I couldn't say either way who I think is going to win this one because it really is probably one of the most even matches we have had so far in this tournament. And it might just determine who comes out top of Group C. Of course, we've got the other two teams in this group to fight out in a few days' time. That is Germany and Puerto Rico. Germany's actually a very strong team as well, as is Puerto Rico quite good. But I just feel like whoever does win this one, whoever comes in top in this match, will go in to win this group and get a better run into the next round. Because how have I got this? I'm coughing my guts, that's how I'm doing it. Right, so the winner of... Okay, yep. Yep, I see. Okay. So the winner of Group C will face up the runners up of Group D, which is a very strong group as well, with both Canada and Ireland the top two seeds, and that with Tonga and South Africa. That's actually a really, really strong group, that one as well. Group D, the group of death, I think, as it's well known in some competitions. Absolutely incredible draw. We've seen some really good stuff so far. Some amazing matchups, and that comeback a few days ago from England, from being 2-0 down to win the night 3-2 was massive. And I'm sure that what's happened to Umaga's hair there? It went a bit funky for a second. But we are underway here this evening. Who is going to get first blood in this match? And wow, Umaga showed his superior strength there, just pushing Pentagon straight over, now bringing him back up to his feet. And Umaga has taken a real control early on in this one. Just slamming the knee of Pentagon into the mat. And it is Umaga in firm control at this point in time. Pentagon really struggling to get any offense at all. He's been grounded throughout most of the match. Does make it up to his feet, but Umaga's waiting for him. Went for that diving shoulder block, but Pentagon saw it coming. Pentagon now bringing Umaga back up to his feet. Off the far ropes. Went for a super kick. Umaga managed to avoid it. And then comes back and just strikes him down once again with that stiff right hand. Pentagon with the jawbreaker on Umaga now. Oh, dropping him face first into the mat as well. Into a nice little gut buster. Or a code breaker, if you will. And Pentagon finally getting some offense in this match. But it did not last long, as Umaga, who was actually a really good brutish character. I quite like it. It was a real interesting sort of character. I missed most of it because I wasn't really watching WWE at that point in time, but it's a shame, obviously, he left us what he did. But he had a lot going for him, didn't he, really? He was a very, very good heel character. Pentagon now all wrenching back at the leg of Umaga. And now Pentagon taking the top off the turnbuckle pad. Now, this is an interesting one. You see Pentagon work on the leg, trying to take the big redwood down by the trunk, which is the best way of doing it. But also maybe creating a bit of an access later on with that turnbuckle pad missing. But it could backfire. Umaga, nice elbow to the back of Pentagon, the big boot in the spine as well. Umaga brings Pentagon back up to his feet now. Up on his shoulder. Oh, just slamming Pentagon neck first into that turnbuckle pad. And now Umaga just dropping his body weight across the spine of Pentagon as well. Wow, everything in this room has just got absolutely crazy fan-wise. I didn't think it was that hot in here, but literally the PlayStation's just gone full blast on the fan, and the PC's gone full blast on the fan to try and cool it down. I don't think it's warm in here. I've got my jumper on. I was cold, but evidently I'm wrong. It's Pentagon now up on the middle rope, and Pentagon's done well here. I really worried for him after the first chunk of the match because he really was getting dominated, but seems to have got back on track. But Umaga catches him with that jawbreaker and sends him into the turnbuckle pad, and Pentagon gonna live to regret taking that pad off now, isn't he? Umaga now sending Pentagon into the corner, and Umaga gonna follow that big splash in the corner as well. And Umaga celebrating, maybe a little bit prematurely, though. He needs to finish off Pentagon, which is what he's looking to do right here. Is this going to be first point of the evening? There's the Samoan spike by Umaga on Pentagon. Is this going to be the first point of the evening for Samoa? There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Umaga does get the victory over Pentagon Jr. And Samoa pick up the first point of the evening. Wow. That was a pretty interesting match, and I want to say it was even, but maybe not as even as it probably should have been. Pentagon got some offense, but I think struggled a little bit. As there's a handshake between the two. Pentagon won't be happy with that result, but we'll see him later on this evening in that 6-man tag anyway. But let's get into our second match of the evening. And here is our second match of the evening as Eddie Guerrero takes on Rikishi. Rikishi going to be pretty eager to make this 2-0 here this evening, but Guerrero will want to equal this as quickly as he possibly can. And I do fancy Guerrero in this one. I think that he's maybe a little bit ahead of Rikishi. It's going to be an interesting one either way, isn't it? You can never quite tell in these. But I do fancy Eddie. I fancy Eddie in this one. The whole Ray versus Samoa Joe match after this one's going to be very interesting as well. The two sort of, I don't know how I would feel. I would personally put Eddie as a bigger name than Ray, but I don't know. It's the way the cookies crumbled. We've ended up with Ray versus Samoa Joe, which could be a tricky one for Ray. He's gonna. Yeah, I think Ray's gonna struggle. Just the strength and the style of Samoa Joe could be terrible for Ray. He could be launched around the ring like a sack of spuds, really. As Guerrero waits the entrance of Rikishi. Good old Rikishi. We struggled a bit with Samoa. It's one of those sort of ones, Samoa, where there's lots of people that could potentially be in the Samoan side, but at the same time, it's more down to family rather than actually being born and growing up there. Now, both Umaga and Rikishi they were born in Samoa. I was tempted to put The Rock in here, but I don't think he spent a lot of time in Samoa. He was more spent a lot of his life, obviously, in America. We'll be good for Samoa Joe, who's more or less been the same, I suppose. Has Samoa Joe ever been to Samoa? That's a question. I'm struggling here because I don't have access to the internet at this point in time. I'm still recording offline, which is why we keep having issues, but there you go. As the bell goes, we are underway as I'm Googling Samoa Joe on my phone to try and get some idea of what happens. Okay. Right, Samoa Joe was born in California. Okay, but he's billed from Samoa. That's the main thing. He was billed from Samoa. And we're doing this a little bit more sort of based on wrestling lore, I suppose. If you look at Jinder Mahal representing India when he's actually Canadian and so forth. But yeah. Oh. Before becoming a wrestler, Samoa Joe was a mortgage broker. There you go. Not many people knew that. But there we go. Samoa Joe is billed from Samoa, therefore he is classed as Samoa. It's sort of a mixture on here, isn't it? The Rock is obviously billed from Hollywood. Is he billed from Hollywood now, I think? I don't know. And Roman Reigns is not billed from Samoa, even though he's related to Umaga. Is Umaga his cousin, I think? I don't know. See, I'm terrible without the reference of the internet to back up my facts. I'm just making crap up as I go along because I've got no idea what's going on. As does Eddie Guerrero in this situation, as Rikishi really taking some control. Dropping Eddie face first across that top turnbuckle now, just dropping the boots into the chest of Eddie as well. Rikishi brings Eddie back up to his feet before sending him into the corner. But Guerrero fighting back with that stiff DDT. Guerrero now brings Rikishi back up. Raining down the strikes, a big uppercut as well. Rikishi looking for an ace crusher, which Eddie saw coming and threw him away into a DDT. And Eddie will be desperate for this point. He does not want Mexico to drop down to a 2-0 deficit at this point in time. We know it is possible to come back from a 2-0 deficit, but it is not easy. As I'm coughing. I need a drink, but I can't bother to go to the kitchen. Nice sunset flip over the top there by Eddie Guerrero. As I'm sure these fans are getting bloody loud. I hope you can't hear them. They're getting really loud now. Rikishi up on the middle rope. Not like Rikishi to go high risk. It is a massive risk when you're this weight, and the weight does come down effectively onto the back of Eddie Guerrero. There's the pin now by Rikishi. Only a 1 count. Wow, Eddie still fighting strong. Eddie with the back elbow. Taking Rikishi into the snap suplex. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking for a second. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking for a trifecta. The 3 amigos landed by Eddie Guerrero. But does he have something big left in his locker to finish Rikishi off? He brings him back up to his feet. Nice inverted enziguri by Eddie. Dropping the elbow into the chest of Rikishi. As now Eddie, wrenching back on that knee. Eddie brings Rikishi back up to his feet into another DDT, and look at Rikishi's position. If Eddie was tempted, he wasn't though. I thought he might have gone for the frog splash there. And now Eddie is tempted, but he's gone a much further away position than I thought was the easier one. But he hits it anyway. There's the frog splash by Eddie Guerrero. There's the pin. 1, 2, and it's 1-1 on the evening. Eddie Guerrero getting the point back here for Mexico. Nice. Defeats Rikishi to make it 1-1. So, that's going to make things a lot more interesting this evening, though. Now it's 1-1. There's a lot more to go here this evening. That match between Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio now very, very important. And it was a good back and forth match once again, but as soon as Eddie hit these 3 amigos, he had things in hand, and then a big frog splash to finish Rikishi off to give him the 1, the 2, and the 3. And the point. The all-important point. That's the main thing here for him. Viva la raza. Eddie's happy. Good old Eddie. Right then, so 1-1 on the evening. One more singles match and the 6-man tag left. 3 more points up for grabs. At this point, whoever wins the 6-man tag will win here this evening, no matter what. Interesting. And here is our third and final singles match of the evening. Samoa Joe takes on Rey Mysterio. Good times. This should be a good one. Strength and power taking on speed and agility. And here is the strength and power. And also the technique and submission ability as well, of course. I just feel like Samoa Joe's got the massive advantage here, you know. Just being able to launch Rey Mysterio around the ring as he pleases. The weight is nothing for him, is it really? It's like fighting a child for Samoa Joe at this point. But we all know how big the heart of Rey Mysterio is. He managed to win WWE Championships when people never thought he would do with his size. But he manages to overcome the bigger men over and over again. And this is another chance for Rey to show exactly what he can do. Oh, that's good. We managed to get Rey Mysterio that worked. I didn't even test it. We did manage to get Rey Mysterio that actually works, which is good. Because there's so many Rey Mysterios on the community creations that just do not work at all. They're completely broken. They just, like, all the logos are missing. It's quite a common problem on this year's game, with the logos being missing and stuff like that. It's really broken. But we seem to have a good one here. That's the main thing. As we are underway, Rey then taking Samoa Joe down straight away. Joe now trying to use his strength and does take Rey down. Joe is taking the strength control now. And Rey is going to struggle to get back on top of this now, I think. Joe just raining the elbows across the chest of Rey. And as I said, it's just going to be so difficult now for Rey to get back into this. He's being absolutely brutalized. Dropping the boot in the face once again there by Joe. But Rey's heart does give him an opportunity, but is it just unwise? Should he just let sleeping tigers lie? Or, well, saying that he's going for it. Just the last thing you want if you're Rey is just to piss Joe off, because that's going to be an even worse situation for you in the long run. But Rey seems to be just about surviving. Nice reverse DDT. Now just drags Joe middle of the ring. Rey slamming the arm of Joe into the mat before bringing him back up to his feet. Ducking the clothesline, but then gets flattened with the second one. Joe just peeling Rey off the mat. Back up to his feet. Taking him down now, just dropping the elbows into the shoulder of Rey Mysterio. Joe looking in control again, but Rey just out of nowhere, just catching Joe unawares into this sunset flip bomb. Ray, nice. Dropping Joe onto his back in the backbreaker now. Ray, my God, Ray tried to take Joe out for a powerbomb, but again, Joe just far too strong. I think Ray's heart got the best of him there. Joe with a DDT. And Joe still in firm control of this one. I feel like this is going to be a real struggle here for Rey Mysterio and Mexico to get the point in this match. No matter what Ray does, Joe just seems to have an answer for. Oh, maybe not that though. The Hurricanrana taking Joe down, and Ray up on his feet. Heads up to the middle rope. Going to go high risk. And misses. That's why they call it high risk. There's high reward, but if you don't get the reward, there's high damage to be had. Joe now launching Ray across the ring. Brings him back up. Into the turnbuckle, Joe. Oh, boot to the side of the head. Ray flops like a sack of spuds. Joe now in control. Drops into the pin. Was that enough? 1, 2. Not enough. But it's close. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Ray catching Joe. Now spins. Into the Hurricanrana. Ray's going high risk once again. Is this wise? Last time he went high risk, it backfired. But he does hit it. But is it enough? Nice big splash there by Ray. Into the pin. Wow, if this is a win, that is huge for Mexico. Oh, and Joe just about kicks out. Wow. That would have been massive. Ray brings Joe back up to his feet. Sprung into the corner. Ray takes Joe up high. Into a Frankensteiner, and Ray, out of nowhere, is in firm control of this. Oh, nice splash. He didn't even springboard, did he? He just literally went flying over the top rope into the pin. 1, 2, and again, Joe kicking out, but Ray is in firm control. But can he finish Joe off? That's the big question. Joe with a forearm in the face of Ray now. Sprung into the far corner. Joe now hoisting Ray up onto the top. This could be bad for Ray. Oh, I thought we might go muscle buster there, but looks like Joe's got other plans. It's a super butterfly suplex. Wow. Thing is, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And Ray's not that big, so did he fall that hard? Is that just a little bit too oversimplified there for me, or I've got no idea. Either way now, Joe locking in the head scissors on Ray, but Ray managing to escape. Just about. Ray now with a pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Ray locking the head scissors once again with the big elbows in the forehead of Samoa Joe. Ray now heads up to the top. Big splash on Samoa Joe. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and again, it's only a 2. What does Ray have to do to win this one? I'm sure he's thinking the exact same himself right now. Stalking Samoa Joe. Oh, this could be enough. Hooks him on that rope. Ray 619. And the big splash straight after. Ray drops into the pin. 1, 2. Oh my God, we all wrote... Well, I wrote him off. I completely wrote Ray off. And he's only come back and won against Samoa Joe. That puts Mexico 2-1 up on the night with the 6-man tag match yet to come. That is huge. That is absolutely huge, and this is a big step for Mexico, because it means even if they lose tonight, even if they lose the 6-man tag, they're still going to get 2 points, which is very, very important in this group that is going to be so tight, with Tonga and South Africa, 2 very strong nations as well. This group is going to be very... not that this one, no. With Germany and Puerto Rico, another 2 good nations. Both these teams are going to need to make sure they get as many points as possible. So I was looking at Group D there for a second. But this is massive here for Mexico. Getting those 2 points so far. And if they can win the 6-man tag, they walk away here tonight with 4 points over the seed 1 in the group that was Samoa. That's crazy. And here we go then with the main event of tonight's episode, the 6-man tag between Samoa and Mexico. This one, of course, is essentially for the win here. Should Mexico win this one, they'll win the night 4 points to 1. Should Samoa win this one, they'll win the night 3 points to 2. So, really important. And as normal, due to parental controls... I don't know what that even means, but due to parental controls, apparently we can't see the entrances. I don't understand. Oh, this bloody game is so broken. I just don't know what the issue is. I've seen a lot. This is quite a common issue, actually. I've seen a lot of people on the internet moan about it and complaining about it, and 2K apparently are so little help. I've done everything I can to try and do it. I think it might be because I've not got the internet at this point in time, so hopefully once I get the internet back on my PlayStation, things should be a lot smoother. But wait and see, I don't get my internet for a few days yet, so we'll wait and see if that does fix the problem. I'm hoping it does. It's just such a stupid issue, I don't understand. It's like parental controls. There's no parental controls on my PlayStation. It's set for me to be able to use any game, because I'm over 18. I can play whatever the hell I want to play. I can use... The thing is, it says as well, you're not allowed to use content created by other people. However... all these created wrestlers, well, Rey Mysterio and Umaga in this case, and Pentagon Jr. are ones I've downloaded from the community creations, whereas the entrances, the thing that it seems to be not working on, the entrances is something that I have created myself, which is frustrating they're not working, because I went through and did all these entrances. I can't believe they're not bloody working, it's a pain. It really is, but there we go. Either way, we are here then in the big important match for who's going to top Group C after the first match, of course. They might not hold on to the lead for too long, of course, as we do have the Germany versus Puerto Rico match coming up for you in a few days' time. That's going to be an interesting one. I fancy Germany in that, to be honest. They got some strong names in Walter, Bad Bones, and Alexander Wolf. Puerto Rico looking pretty good with Carlito, but can Epico and Primo really compete? That's going to be the big question there. Carlito will get them some points, I think, but it's all down to Epico and Primo. So Germany, if they have a strong showing in that episode in a few days' time, they could top the group. Nice splash attempt there by Pentagon, but Samoa Joe catches him and just hits him with that big slam. Joe knows how important these points are, and he'll be disappointed himself that he lost the singles point to Rey Mysterio Jr. He'll think that he should have done better than that, and I think Rey Mysterio and... I think Rey Mysterio would be quite happy with the situation, because I really wrote him off, to be honest with you. I thought that Joe's strength and submission prowess was going to be a bit too much for him, but Rey Mysterio, as we know, all heart. Nobody anticipated him to do half the stuff he did in his career, especially due to his size, but look how well he did. Joe with a big kick to the side of the head of Pentagon, who of course lost to Umaga in the opening match of the evening. Guerrero breaking the pin there on Pentagon, and Rikishi now goes to the pin, and Rey breaking that one up as well. A bit of a mess this match at this point in time. Nobody really taking a lot of control. Umaga and Rikishi are up while Pentagon goes to the moonsault on Samoa Joe, and Joe rolls out of the way. Right hand to the gut there by Rikishi, and now Rikishi and Umaga striking Guerrero. Joe has a knee bar locked in on Pentagon, who does break free. Backbreaker on Guerrero by Umaga. And Umaga is looking to be a very, very strong member of this match. Umaga just crushing Pentagon in the corner. Umaga is being absolutely dominant. Rikishi now with Ray up on his shoulder. There it is, the Rikishi driver. Boom! Ray is down. This could be the chance. If Rikishi goes to the pin, this match could be done and dusted. There is the pin. 1, 2. Can Pentagon get there in time? He doesn't. Oh no, it's only a 2 count. Ray kicked out. Wow. That's what we said about Ray's just incredible resilience. He was able to kick out of that, which I thought it was impending to be lost. And Pentagon going for the knee of Joe with the dropkick. But Joe fighting free, sending Pentagon into the corner. And once again, the Samoans taking control. Oh, and a muscle buster from Joe. We don't see it very often, but there he was, the muscle buster. But he doesn't go for the pin. Interesting. Now Umaga goes to the pin on Eddie Guerrero instead. Ray able to break it. And of course, it's not worth going for the pin if you know it's going to get broken straight away, which is probably why Joe didn't go for it. Joe now taking Ray down with that suplex. Oh, and Umaga just crushed Pentagon. And now both Ray and Pentagon fall to the outside, and Joe, Rikishi and Umaga have Eddie Guerrero isolated on the inside of the ring. Umaga now just marching around with Pentagon on his shoulders, dropping him face first on the apron. And this is not looking good for Team Mexico at this point in time. Team Samoa in complete control. Rikishi dropping his body weight across the spine of Eddie Guerrero. Nice slam there by Rikishi as Guerrero now rolls to the outside. All of a sudden, Team Mexico have... Ray was stalking the grounded Joe. And Rikishi caught him with that super kick. Pentagon now hooking Rikishi up. Oh, dropping him. And Pentagon really trying to turn this one around, but the numbers game just getting a bit too much for him here. Joe taking up Ray. Umaga has Pentagon. Superplex by Umaga on Pentagon. Now Joe heading up top as well. Joe locking the arms. Looking for the super butterfly suplex on Ray. And once again the Samoans taking control. Nice Saito suplex there by Umaga, but Pentagon fighting Joe back. Pin by Umaga. Pentagon there just in time to break it up on the 2. This has been a pretty good 6-man tag, actually. One of the better ones we've seen so far in this tournament. Umaga taking Ray up. Ray breaking the pin once again on Pentagon by Rikishi. Joe looking to try and catch Eddie, but Eddie getting him with that enziguri. Now Eddie up on top. Ooh. He's going to stay up there while Joe getting back up to his feet. Eddie drop. Oh, he got caught out by Joe. Joe was playing possum. And now the Samoans just focusing their attack on Pentagon. Eddie now taking Rikishi up into a brainbuster. Umaga taking Pentagon up on his shoulders into a big Samoan drop. Samoa Joe also taking down Eddie Guerrero. There's the pin by Joe. And Ray able to break it. Backbreaker now by Umaga. And once again the Samoans taking full control. German suplex by Joe. Pentagon fights his way out the corner though, hitting Rikishi with that drop kick. Oh, all of a sudden, the Mexicans have control. It's crazy how the match twists, isn't it? Nice lung blower there by Pentagon on Samoa Joe. Guerrero just pulls Joe middle of the ring. And the three Mexicans stand over the fallen body. But Joe able to fight back, but can he do it? Ray with a quick crucifix pin. Oh, trying to steal the 3 count. Eddie going after the pin, but Umaga was there to break it up straight away. Such a great match here. Both these teams know how important it is to get the points and get the win here this evening. With the strength that Germany holds, it's going to be a risky group. It's maybe not the most difficult group. I think that is more than likely going to be Group D, the group of death. Springboard frog splash there by Ray on Samoa Joe. Of course, Ray's already pinned Joe once this evening. Umaga now big splash on Eddie in the corner. Ray went for the pin on Joe, but I don't know what Ray was expecting there, to be honest. Joe had been grounded for quite some time, had a chance to get better, and then just takes Ray down. Pentagon clotheslines Rikishi to the outside, but it might not be a good idea as Umaga hits a Samoan spike on Eddie Guerrero. And there it is. No! Again! Wow, Eddie Guerrero this time kicking out. That was a big kick out. I thought this match was done and dusted right there. I can't believe the resilience being shown by the Mexicans here. Brainbuster by Guerrero on Samoa Joe. Into the pin straight away, but Umaga was stood right above it and breaks it up straight off the bat. On a massive kick in the gut of Eddie Guerrero. Nice backbreaker, lethal combination there by Pentagon into the Russian leg sweep. Umaga now going high risk, but sees Rey Mysterio and breaks the pin. There's so much action everywhere, but Ray now getting Joe hooked up on the ropes. 619. Wow, this could be it, you know. Pentagon hitting the package power drive on Rikishi. If Eddie can take out, Eddie does take out Umaga. This is the chance. 1, 2, and 3, and Team Mexico does get the victory and wins the night 4-1. Wow. That is a big win for Mexico. Essentially in this match, well, in this group, essentially, I had Samoa down as seed 1 and Mexico down as seed 2. It was a very, very close between the two of them, but Mexico has definitely proved to me here this evening that they were the dominant ones. However, it's not all down to this one match. This one match, I think, might determine first and second in the group. However, I do feel like both these teams will probably absolutely hammer Puerto Rico and have a pretty strong showing. Germany's going to be the wild card in this one, where Bad Bones and especially Walter, I think, are going to be very, very difficult ones to get past. I think Alexander Wolf might be a little less tricky. But yeah, Bad Bones and Walter are going to be the big ones to fight off against. But at this point in time, it's a great win here for Team Mexico, who will top the group after this match, of course, as they will do, because the other teams haven't played yet. But for the end of the episode, I'll throw up a graphic, as I normally do, showing you the group at this point in time. But of course, all things can change when we have the match between Puerto Rico and Germany in a few days' time. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed that one, please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. We have got more World Cup coming up for you in the next few days. We start off with Group D very, very soon. Canada versus Ireland. What a big one that is going to be. That's huge. It doesn't sound like much in the world of sports, but when you see the two teams these two guys have got, Canada versus Ireland is looking very, very good. I've been Shabba Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
The 1, 2, 3.